Through the surveillance cameras, I saw women in those rooms look terrified and enraged. They rushed to the door, locking it and frantically barricading the entrance with tables, chairs, and nightstands to block it as tightly as possible. Meanwhile, many other passengers were simply furious. They burst out cursing, demanding to know who was so heartless. Meanwhile, room 3023 turned freezing. Everyone knew their scheme, and Chen Hao was speechless with terror. The bald man told his thugs they had been too easy on him, and now Chen Hao would learn the price of betrayal. The thugs closed in, their eyes filled with murderous intent. But as they moved, the door to 3108 flung open. Instead of a sobbing celebrity, a woman stepped out, gripping a heavy metal object. Her eyes held only the madness of someone driven to the edge. Immediately after, several doors in the neighboring rooms also opened. Other trapped women emerged, armed with makeshift weapons, and silently stood behind her. My intervention didn't just cause ripples, it was about to unleash a storm of human nature that would sweep across the ship. The real drama on the cruise ship had only just begun. I wasn't in a hurry to see the ending. Leaning back in my chair, I watched as the main screen switched to a new scene, a mountain village blanketed in thick white snow. This was Chen Hao's hometown, the place I had once visited, a land of poverty rife with greed and scheming. Back then, the truck driver who had helped me buy back quilts at a high price following my instructions had left a miniature camera in the hollow of an old locust tree across from their yard when he took away their last quilt. It was solar-powered and had an ultra-long standby time, enough for me to enjoy another drama I had prepared for their family. The cold wave is fair to everyone. It doesn't treat you differently whether you're rich or poor. Outside, the temperature had already dropped to a terrifying -40 degrees. In the surveillance footage, the entire village looked like a frozen specimen. Faint light and muffled sounds of arguing came from the Chen's dilapidated brick house. I zoomed in on the image and turned the receiver's sensitivity to the highest setting. Through the window, barely held together with plastic sheeting, I could clearly see Dr. Chen and Wang Jinhua. The couple who once worked together to scheme against me now looked like two desperate animals fighting each other. Everything in the house that could be burned had already been used up. They had even chopped up their old wooden bed for firewood. Now only ash remained in the brazier. They were fighting over the last piece of clothing, a filthy, tattered cotton jacket with hardened lumps inside. This was Jinhua's last treasure, kept at the bottom of her chest. When I sold their quilts, I deliberately left this behind. Now, this junk was their only hope. Jinhua clung to the jacket, shrieking it was hers. Dr. Chen cursed back, calling her selfish and claiming the family needed her to survive. In that freezing room, they tore at each other over this worthless rag. Using all their strength, their once proud but simple-minded son, Chen Qiang, just cowered in the corner. He seemed not to understand what was happening, only shivering uncontrollably from the cold. So cold. Wang Jinhua bit down hard on Chen Dafu's hand. Chen Dafu cried out in pain and slapped her across the face with a loud smack. Staggering from the blow, Wang Jinhua went wild and lunged at him. The two of them wrestled together, rolling from the house all the way into the yard. The yard was covered in a thick layer of blood, and in the corner, the small pond used for storing water was frozen with ice a foot thick.